So today, Sledgehammer Games actually broke the fourth wall and addressed something that's a bit of a naughty word in the halls of Activision, something that they don't ever talk about, at least out loud, and that is skill-based matchmaking, or whatever their secret formula is that they use to put players in a lobby that is closely aligned with other people of their skill. Or at least that's how it's supposed to work. That's how they advertise it. We all know that's not the case. And in reality, it's based on engagement. How much time you spend playing the game. At least that's the prevailing theory. The fact is, nobody knows because they don't tell anyone about it. And they keep that secret very closely guarded. At least potentially maybe until now. So where's this all coming from? Well, yesterday on Twitter, Sledgehammer Games posted, "Ask us anything. Join us on Reddit tomorrow at 12 p.m. as we respond to feedback and answer your questions about Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. Post your questions now on Reddit." So tomorrow now being today, November 20th, they just finished that AMA Ask Me Anything, and there was a whole lot that came out of it. So much so that at least for a little while, it caused SBMM to start trending on Twitter. But before we get into the details of the AMA, there was another event that took place last week that kind of went under the radar. And that was a podcast that Pullze had on his Twitch, which is now up on YouTube if you'd like to go see it. I will link it down here in the comments. In this podcast, he actually interviewed two devs from Sledgehammer that had a whole lot to say about multiplayer and movement and maps and a whole bunch of other things that were all relevant to Modern Warfare 3. Here is a quick highlight of that when they started first addressing bunny hopping potentially returning. And right off the bat, I think it's first absolutely hysterical that, like, in the little first preview thumbnail here, we have Huskers commenting about mouse input issues. Quite comical.
When it comes to bunny hopping, I know that was, it's not in the game. And I guess from us looking at things, at least I think it's like bunny hopping is such a small thing, or even just jumping and ADSing, like that penalty. Obviously, in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be there, and we should be able to bunny hop, even if it's just once, like just one carryover. Kind of, what was y'all's, like, did you guys not like bunny hopping? Did you guys not like the jumping and ADSing penalty? I guess just so you know the way we kind of perceive it, right, is like the more freedom we have to do different things, the less we have to quote unquote spam just slide canceling, right? So instead of we have now bunny hopping, drop shotting, all these different things instead of just one.
Yeah, and it is something that we are looking at once we get out of the launch window here. We'll be looking at it closer and looking to do updates and various things around it to allow you to do something like it. I'm gonna try not to commit myself to anything. Okay. But you know, I wish I had a good reason for you why I wasn't there to begin with. But I mean, the you know, it's not there right now, and we're looking at bringing it back in some fashion.
Heard that, chat? You heard that? Okay, I already know it's about to be spammed with W's.
I get an absolute kick out of this mealy mouth, wish-wash language of like, we're looking at possibly, maybe one day bringing that back, but we'll see, we don't know. If you have young children, go ahead and ask them what they think that maybe means. If you say, maybe we'll go to McDonald's, what they hear is, we're going to McDonald's. So take that for what it's worth. Good or bad, some people liked it, some people didn't, but I think the expectation from the community is that this is a mechanic that will be coming back in the new Warzone iteration. They also said when talking about aim assist, it's in an okay place right now, and we want to look at it closer. Talking about options on aim assist, but they come with downside. Maybe remove options for aim assist, so there's only one to tune. Trying to figure out the best solutions. So currently in the game, you have 4 different settings for aim assist. There's the default setting, there's Black Ops, Precision, and Focusing. Type any of those into YouTube and you can find all kinds of guides on people claiming and swearing that Black Ops is the best or default is the best for various numbers of reasons. Personally, I think that's all just a bunch of junk, and you can use whichever one you feel the most comfortable with. Certain players are going to benefit from different kinds of aim assists. That's why the different types exist in the first place. But to say that this is their idea of nerfing it, which is just to maybe remove 3 of the 4 or 2 of the 4, I think is pretty comical. The only person who does not benefit to aim assist of any kind is mouse and keyboard players, so hoping for the best for them. I couldn't talk on it. I play on a controller. Now for the juicy details that you've all been waiting for. Here is the AMA, or the Ask Me Anything, that was hosted today on Reddit from Sledgehammer. Drop your questions in the comments below and we'll assemble the team and be back then. Please note we're going to be answering questions exclusively about multiplayer. And by assemble the team, I'm sure they meant the army of lawyers that were on the 6th floor above them that they had to bring down to stand over and bully the poor PR intern that had the godforsaken tasks of typing in all of the responses that the devs gave him about this game. All right, so jumping right into it, adjustments to Gaia and Gaia Black Cell operator skins are in the pipeline for Modern Warfare 3. In a future game update, we'll disable this item until said changes can be released to all players. So this, of course, is the famous Groot skin that everybody loves so much. This skin is notoriously hard to see, and the community has been asking for a nerf for this thing ever since that it came out. So naturally, people latched on this when they said that they're going to disable this item until said changes can be released to all players. But I don't think what people mostly picked up on was the first part of that sentence when they said, in a future game update, comma. A future game update could be after Season 1 or 2 of Warzone, so who knows? The problem with these skins and these blueprints are people buy them. And when there's monetary value that's attached to these blueprints and operator skins, it gets very sticky from a legal perspective of what they can and cannot take away from people. Or maybe that's just the illusion that they want to give off, because it seems like they take forever to get rid of these things sometimes. It looks like they also recruited ChatGPT to respond to some of these questions with this generic bot answer that they gave to this user. Speaking about streak looping, this is something that the team definitely wants to try out. One of the cool things about our experimental playlists is that they give us a chance to see how things work out in the wild. Expect to see something like this in future experimental playlists, and make sure to share your feedback in this survey we placed in the message of the day. So this same little generic paragraph you see pop up several times as a non-answer to people's questions. Also interesting to note that they have this survey that they're going to be placing in the message of the day, which is news to me. It's something that I've never seen before. Of course, when you just first boot up the game, you get up to the top right here in this little tab, you'll see message of the day, and they have their little promotion or whatever it is that they're doing here. This one looks like it's about the Call of Duty endowment. And here it is right here. We want your feedback. Have you tried our experimental playlist? We're eager to hear what you think. Jump into this short survey and send your thoughts straight to our design team. Oh, it's a QR code. All right, so you scan that QR code and it drops you right into this survey here with several different questions about, did you have fun? It talks about visibility, and it talks about intensity of player outline changes, and did player outlines impact gameplay pace? Okay, so this survey looks like it's all about player visibility, which I think generally this is a good thing. Anytime you have a game developer that's soliciting for feedback from their community in an open and public forum such as this, I think it's a W. It's just unfortunate that they didn't do this before, and it's also unfortunate that I never even noticed this, because as soon as the game opens up, I immediately navigate straight to whatever it is the mode that I'm trying to play. But maybe for you, if you have strong opinions, keep a lookout for things like this, and this could be your chance to be heard. Whether or not they'll do anything about it is anybody's guess. We know how good Infinity Ward was at taking feedback in Modern Warfare 2. Overall, though, I'm very optimistic for Sledgehammer and everything they've done ever since Modern Warfare 3 has come out. They've been extremely vocal about wanting to listen to their players and expressing that they actually care what you think, and they care that you're having a good time and a good experience. If this is all for real, then I think this is absolutely incredible and could be a huge change for the game going forward. And now to the part that actually broke the internet, at least for a little while. Dapper Young Man said, disbanding lobbies. I would love to play a game with enemies and teammates. It would also help balance the system currently in place that disbands a lobby following a match. To which Sledgehammer replied, in a future game update, we'll be testing non-disbanding lobbies with a cohort of players to determine the performance of such change. If these tests go well, we'll explore a rollout to all players. I don't think people fully grasp or understand how significant that this is, that somebody at Activision actually addressed or even mentioned the matchmaking process or any possible changes that they would have to matchmaking, which is why having something like non-disbanding lobbies could potentially be such a huge deal. Non-disbanding meaning if you don't back out of the match or back out of the game when the game's done and you just let it auto play or auto load into the next match, you should be playing with that exact same lobby again. So that last match, if you were dropping nukes and kill streaks like nothing else, then you should probably have a similar experience in your next match. Or if you got absolutely dunked on, then you could be able to back out and pick a different one. And then once you find a lobby that works for you, you can just stick with that one and play with that same lobby and that same group of players for your entire play session. But let me know what you guys all think about this. I know matchmaking is one of those controversial hot button issues that a lot of people have strong feelings about, just like aim assist is. So you tell me, is Activision or Sledgehammer making any changes about matchmaking? In your opinion, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And do you think that's going to be able to carry over into the next Warzone when that comes out next month too? All right, bye.